Sometimes we had one picture that I think we used in a Facebook ad, and I actually had a customer reach out to me and says, "Your work is so beautiful, and I love what you do, but you may want to use a different picture." He goes, "Give me a call." So I'm like, I looked to see if it was his house. I'm like, maybe he's offended I used, it wasn't. And he goes, "Just so you know," he goes, "it looks so good. It looks like it's Photoshopped." I'm like, that's the ultimate compliment. And it wasn't, I don't even know how to use Photoshop, but it was so good. He goes, "Maybe use one that's more realistic." He goes, I think people are think it's fake. And I've had a couple people ask me, like in our ad that we run in a local magazine, is that Photoshop? Buddies of mine, not customers, but I'm like, no, that's our before and after. I mean, I could show you the pictures, and they're like, wow, that is so incredible. And that's what we love about what we do is, man, the transformation is huge. Now, not every job is that way. It depends on what you're working with. If I'm working with a good quality paver, I can make it look great. But if I'm working with one that's 20 years old, it's never been taken care of, it's got oil stains, I mean, there's only so much you can do. And obviously, from an advertising perspective, we're going to use the ones that really look awesome. But we have some that they look a lot better to the homeowner. But if I showed you a picture, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, what's all that oil?" I say, "Well, they had an oil spill." There's only so much we can do. Right. We're not miracle workers, but man, we definitely improve what people have. And one thing in common that I've noticed when our best customers, the ones that are on the VIP program, when you go to their house, when you call to schedule, they call us and they're like, "Yeah, what day can you come out?" We tell them, they're like, "Well, I got the landscaper out that day. How about this day? I got my AC being serviced." They take maintenance serious, so they maintain their house is beautiful for a reason. All these companies are coming to maintain the part of the property that they specialize in. Yeah. And that's what we do. We specialize in pavers. So we got to work, all the contractors got to work around their schedule. Whereas the homes where they don't take care of anything and they're doing it only because the HOA sent them a letter, you get out there and it's like, you got to move the vehicle that doesn't run, it's on blocks. You have to get that off the driveway. So, some people are just reactive, and they're going to react to the HOA's letter because they don't want to get a fine, and then they'll have it done. And there's people that are proactive and take a lot of pride in their properties where it's like, "Oh yeah, I've had this done before and you guys did it. You did a great job. I need you to come back." And they've got other contractors there because it's a pride of ownership. Yeah. Whether nobody sees it or not, like at my house, nobody sees that my bed is made, but it's pride of how me and my wife live. Yeah. Clean and pristine.
Yeah. I love that.
That's how it is.
And it's like I talked about earlier, it's a contagion. The thing that I really love about what you shared is, and I'm a high performance coach, as you know, the highest performers are very clear about intention over impulse, building on what you just shared. So they're intentional about maintaining their systems. And when we break that down, what does that look like? There's specific actions that we have with certain rhythms. So an action would be to have my pavers cleaned. And a rhythm would be once a year. An action would be have and we talked about this before too, my HVAC, my AC maintained. The rhythm, every 3 to 6 months. The action, have my yard mowed. And in summer, that can be sometimes twice a week down here because grass grows so fast. Yeah. So that's a twice a week rhythm. So the biggest thing that I want to make sure the listener understands is, what are the rhythms that support you having a clean, pristine landscape, paver, pool deck, but also what are the rhythms in life that help you be, feel, and do your best? And a lot of people, when you think about that through that lens, they're like, "Oh yeah, I have a rhythm. Every day I do 20 minutes of some form of cardio, stability, mobility, strength, endurance training, whatever that looks like." And that's a daily thing. And on a weekly level, I go for a longer run or whatever that might look like. So big part of this lesson, and it's kind of a side effect of the purpose of this podcast for the way we've structured it, is to assure that people understand these life principles that help you feel, be, and do your best outside of paver cleaning, restoration, sealing, those kind of things. But also really helping you inspire the world to be its best. So that being said, as you think about some of your more recent jobs, have there been any people who have shared, like, I've seen it in some of the reviews, but have there been any people who have shared with you, like, "You inspired me to take care of things better," or your team inspired me to do this better, or your team inspired me to take a look into that to make it better? Just this kind of ripple effect, we'll call it, in that regard. Anything show up for you?
Yeah. I mean, they don't say it that way, but I have conversations with my customers, whether they call to compliment us or let us know, "Hey, can you come look at this if there's something wrong?" But sometimes we'll do a follow up, and I'll just stop at a house. I'm in the area doing estimates, and I know we did this house recently, and I'll stop and say, "Hey, how do you like everything?" And sometimes we get funny responses, because Larry, my operations manager, he'll stop in too once in a while and say hello, and sometimes people will be like, "Yeah, well, I did the driveway and it looks so good," and the husband will be like, "Yeah, so now we got to epoxy the garage floor because now the wife says, why stop there?" He goes, but now it looks good. So we get compliments or comments like that.
Yep.
Whereas, one area looks really good and it makes another area look kind of bad. And it's like, well, we got to spruce that up now. Flip side of that is you do realize it and you want things to look good. We do, like, say, HOA community. Say if we're in a community where it's, say, condos and they have shared driveways, like it's kind of split, one driveway was split off into two walkways. Or duplexes, that sort of thing. Well, it runs into a dilemma because this person here wants it to look pristine. This person doesn't care. And the HOA kind of will sometimes deny permission to do it because they don't want yours looking better than anybody else's. They want them to all look equal. So if they all look equally good, that's fine. But if not, they all got to look equally bad. So if you have that sense of pride, you want your stuff to look nice, and you're in a community like that, it's kind of disheartening because you want your stuff to look nice, but you can't because then it's going to shame your neighbor and theirs isn't going to look nice. So sometimes what I'll tell people is, go to your HOA. We can come in and talk to your HOA board, put on a presentation where maybe we can do all the driveways, and as part of your HOA fees, maybe the HOA can afford to pay for that for everybody's to look phenomenal. But in an individual homeowner basis, it usually trickles down into other things. Like, well, now that that's done, got to get the landscape done.
Yeah.
And I'm that way at my house too.
Yep.
I mean, we make a small improvement on one thing. I'm like, well, shoot, that looks so good. Now we got to do this,
It's that never ending list of advancement.
It's never ending. But again, with maintenance, you do reach to a point where it's like everything's on autopilot.
Yeah.
Pool guy comes once a week to clean, changes the filters once a year, whatever it is. My landscapers come, we're in an HOA where they just blow and go. They don't really do the best job.
Right.
So I got my own private landscaper. He comes to my house and he picks weeds and trims everything once a month.
Yeah.
And so I got him on a recurring basis. My AC company comes. I've got a generator that's got to be tested every so often. So I'm in a maintenance program with all these things because I can spend time with my family and do the things that I enjoy instead of being bogged down by all this maintenance. And that's the freedom that my customers really tell me they enjoy, is not only does it lead to other projects, but at the end of the day, that's one thing off their list that they don't have to worry about, especially if they're snowbirds. If they come down, they've been gone 6 months, we clean it right before they get here. So they come back to a nice clean area and they can go to the golf course and do whatever it is they enjoy instead of coming down here and have a to-do list that's 2 pages long.
I love it because now we've connected the dots that Paver Protectors provides freedom.
Yeah.
I love that because that really helps people live the Florida lifestyle.